we need a proper strategy, and of course, the validation of data. And yes, this is what helps some clients, not all of them, to feel them more secure about what we are doing. So sometimes we, let's say, I was saying, Ignacio, we treat them with some data, and then we do what
You trick
we want.
them?
Yes. Most of the time, actually.
Persuade, yeah, you mean
Persuade.
No, I think you meant
That's a
trick.
better word.
You meant trick, right?
I think another way, which I think is something we're starting to explore a lot more, is using social as a testing ground.
Oh, okay.
And I think we need to get over, especially like
Because no one's going to neg on you on social.
Well, that's the thing, right? But the reality is they do anyways. Sometimes I feel like we're a bank because the amount of people complain about their accommodations under like a social post has nothing to do with anything. But start using social, use it as a testing ground.
Right.
You give permission to be imperfect, and for some clients that's very scary because people don't remember, they don't, and you can see kind of things that work. So it's something that we're starting to explore a lot more. And I think that's sometimes if there's a really big scary idea, if you put it on there and it's getting traction, there you go.
And at Philips, Claudia, is there anything that you remember where you've been extremely hesitant that actually you've been convinced and it's paid off?
Yes, and I feel like it's interesting, right? The process that takes you as the client sometimes is biased. Because you are already thinking about biased. And the best space you can be in is really be like in the space of the idea and worry afterwards on how am I gonna bring it to life with the rest of my team. So if you're like already filtering the purity of the idea with how am I gonna convince that and so on, you are somehow already on the wrong foot in a way. So that I feel like is important. There are moments in which we, again, like with our partners, like we also need to take a step back and be refreshed on what are we really trying to achieve.
Yeah.
And that takes, it's not just courage, or if you want, it's also the courage to stop sometimes. Like sometimes you're too invested in a work, like you are too much into it.
So you mean stop